Commissioner Naquette is absent and excused.
All right. Did everybody review last month's minutes?
Yes.
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 Anybody have any issues with them, or anybody want to?
Motion to approve the minutes as presented.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
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 All those opposed? Okay, minutes pass. I did good late.
Yeah, we're catching up.
Sorry. All right. So what are we doing, Fred?
So we just have one application. It's for the removal of 3 trees at, oh shoot, what's the address? 263rd Street, I think it is.
5 Third Street.
265 3rd Street. These are 3 sweet gums in the planter strip. They were on the historic designation. Yeah, Curtis, what's up?
I need to ask 2 very pertinent questions before we possibly waste a lot of time on this.
Okay.
First, I'll ask the questions, and my third comment will be why I'm asking the question. 1, do we really have purview over those trees? 2, if we do, is Mr. Rincon the one to bring the application? And the reason I'm asking those questions is those trees are not on his property. They are in the public right of way.
We're so responsible for things on our public right of way.
I think that's right.
Difference. And the listing is for that address, which does not include that property. So I don't even know if we legally have purview over that. And if we do, would it be the city that brings the application to us?
That's a good question for
We can't act on something if we don't know that we have jurisdiction to act.
okay, I think that's a good question. So let me pull up something real quick and then we can look at it and we can go based on that. Okay, hold on 1 second, please.
Every other city I've ever dealt with trees is the owners are responsible for the trees, even if it's in the city's parking strip. It's, you know, it may be that the city requires you to do certain things and the utility has the right of way to come prune them out of the line, but
Right.
the owner of the property still owns the trees.
Not just required to maintain them. There's no ownership. It's very specific. You do not own that property. You do not own the trees. You're just required to maintain.
Need taxes on it.
And you know I'm not trying to do this to stop the trees coming down because everyone knows my position on us.
Oh, I agree. These trees need to come down. They're terrible trees for that spot.
Yeah, I want to make sure that we do this correctly.
Vote on it and then the city go ahead and find out if there were actually, because that's gonna.
We may not have a valid application before us. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
So,
right.
okay, so I'll show you this. Let me try and share my screen. Jason, can you enable my screen sharing, please? All right. All right, so this is what I'm looking at here. This is talking specifically about how to remove trees in a public place or anything like that. So this is how to do this. This is in another section of our code. This talks about tree topping, tree pruning, public tree
Oh,
care.
yeah, public tree care.
Public tree care. So all of this stuff, and you'll see that specifically for removal of trees, it says removal of historic or landmark trees is within the jurisdiction of the Historic Preservation Commission per section, that review of demolitions. So that's how we've handled this, is because is we anticipate, and this is, we've had a lot of people asking to remove trees in the public right of way. Typically, we take those to a street tree board it's the Parks Board. Is that correct, Karen? So we take it to a Parks Board, but because it's specifically a historic tree per this, we have brought it to you guys. And we think it is in your purview based on this. So the applicant has requested this. Typically it comes to the city and then we process it through the city and say either yay or nay. But because it's a historic or landmark tree, we have brought it to you. Does that make sense?
Yes,
That answers the first question, that we have purview. Now the second, have I got my, yeah, I've got my mute off. The second question is also very important. Who should be bringing the application to us? The city tree board or the property owner, or both?
I don't believe it's the city tree board. I believe that it's gonna be the person that's seeking to remove a tree from a public place, which you can see right here. You know, a person that's seeking to remove a tree from a public place. So that's why it's coming to you folks.
Okay.
And we do feel it's appropriate for Mr. Rincon to, if that's his name, to I think that's right. We feel it's appropriate for him to bring it.
Okay. I'm good. I just wanted to make sure that we had a valid application before us that we should be acting on.
Right. I think that's a great point, Curtis. Should I stop sharing my screen?
Yes.
All right, I think it's pretty clear. Does anybody have any questions on this?
Well, I'm in favor of removing these 3 liquid ambers, street gums.
All right, do you
They are
want to
no good for that spot.
make a official
Motion.
motion?
Yeah, I move that we approve the request.
A second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Looks like the trees are coming down.
Cool.
Fred,
Yeah.
in the future, if we have something like that and the staff is already checked on the policy, can they go ahead and state that in the form?
Okay. Yeah.
You know, just section, such and such.
Yeah. That sounds good. I can do that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I didn't see anything else in the packet.
There's nothing else in the packet.
but I have one thing for the commission.
Okay.
Beth Niket submitted a letter of resignation as chair. She still wants to stay on the commission. She wants to just step down as chair of the Historic Preservation Commission. And she said, though I would be more than willing to continue in the capacity of a co-chair, it is time for another person to step in the position of chair. I am proud of the work we've done over the years, and I look forward to continuing to serve with you on the commission in our important task of preserving the history and historic buildings of our wonderful town of Independence. So that being said, we need a new chair.
I vote that we have
Got it.
Curtis Tidmore, Commissioner Curtis Tidmore, for the job of chairman.
Are there any other nominations? Curtis, would you accept if this was seconded?
I will.
I'm sorry.
I will.
Okay, thank you. So is there a second to the nomination?
I'll second the nomination.
Oh, sorry. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? All right. Congratulations.
And then my other question will be, will Dawn continue as co-chair, or did somebody want to have Beth serve as co-chair?
Do you need a
Dawn's-
co-chair?
Yeah, we do need a co-chair in case of absences.
Okay.
I think Dawn should continue serving if she's willing.
I'm fine with that. I mean, unless anybody else wants to.
Thank you very much. I will put that in the minutes as well. Thank you.
I wanted to say one thing. You all probably got the notice that the council passed the new code.
Yay.
On YouTube. You all have worked really hard on it, but I can tell you that I think we got a good code because of one thing that's, well, several things, but it falls under the same umbrella. We've really got a fantastic staff in place, and between Fred and Tom and the attorney, I think we really got a nice product through.
And Karen.
And also those people
Nice.
before us
Right.
worked really hard on it, even though that they weren't here to get it passed.
Yep. Michael Carnes.
Yeah.
Michael Carnes, Mike Lodge, yeah.
So I just wanted to thank Fred and Karen and pass that on to Tom Pessimer too, because it's very good.
Yeah, kudos,
Yeah.
everyone.
I have a request about that. Since, I'm like the newest member and I don't have all the information. Could I have a copy of the one that was totally adopted? Because I think I just got some parts of it.
Yeah, you bet. I do believe that we've put it online as well, so it is on the website under Independence Development Code, and then subchapter 59. It should be updated. Is that right, Karen?
Yes, it is. I double checked today.
Oh, okay.
Cool.
I have a question, just whatever, citizen question. What are they doing at the old karate studio? Since we haven't seen any paperwork on it, just curious.
I can't hear you.
It has the big board over it.
Right. So they're doing a facade remodel. That was another one of those ones that was a non-contributing building under the previous code. And so what they're doing is they're hoping I've seen a diagram of it, and it more approximates how the historic design of the building would have looked. So it has larger windows. It's going to have a bulkhead at the bottom and all that stuff. They are also trying to bring the transom windows back on the facade. You'll remember when I first started here, I think it had this really ugly like awning sort of thing over it, and they took down the awning.
Right.
And in the process of taking down the awning, they found all the original transom windows. And so they're redoing the transom windows at the top, and they're trying to more make the rest of the storefront more better looking historically. Because you'll remember what it was all the brick or the rock facing that was like a 70s edition or an 80s edition with the small windows up top. So they're trying to make the windows bigger, and they're trying to have sort of a bulkhead at the bottom to make it look more historic. So in the future, projects like that are going to come to you unless they're not changing a historic feature of the building. So that is one of the components of the code change. So in certain instances, those are going to come to you.
one didn't come to us because it was considered non-contributing, even though it sits right in the middle of Main Street on downtown.
Yep, that's right. Yeah, that's right. I did, because the way that our code was written, I did review that for conformity with our commercial design standards, just to make sure that we were looking at it to some degree. So I did do that, but yeah, because it was non-contributing, it wasn't really addressed in our last code. That's part of the good thing that this revised code has done, is made it clear when projects are getting reviewed, and definitely brought some of these non-contributing structures to the point where they're going to be reviewed by you folks when they're getting changed.
Okey-dokey. Are we finished? Do we make a
Anything
motion to
else?
close the meeting?
So I can adjourn the meeting? That was so fast.
Very fast.
Hey, where are you, Don?
I'm at home. I just have this fancy thing in my window that makes it look